Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, boys and girls! Ho, ho, ho! Father Christmas here!
Only kidding! It's me, Ray! Hey up, Ravers! It's time for our Christmas special review! And I asked the wonderful Ratrons and Ickle Ratrons over on Patreon for their suggestions for a Christmas-themed review. Came up with some good ones, but the rotating review randomiser selected Santa Claus the Movie. Now, I'll be honest, I'm very suspicious of any film that feels the need to put the movie at the end of the title. Because invariably they do it for film spin-offs from TV programmes. And normally it's a code word for it being shit. On the road, Santa Claus the Movie opens with a vomit-inducing song. Yeah, no, this ain't going to be my sort of thing, this. Not a fan of schmaltzy stuff, no. Prefer my Father Christmas to be a bit more down to earth. And we then get transported to this wintry-looking wooden lodge up at the top of the world. And we hear the voice of an old lady who's telling a story to an engrossed audience of ickle children. I say engrossed, I mean he looks bored out of his brains, doesn't he?
Out came the Vendigums.
Now when she said out came the Vendigums, I thought she was talking about some flowers or something like that, but no, she's referring to magical elves who live up at the North Pole. Anyway, she's basically just killing time because everybody's just hanging about, waiting for the local woodcutter, Mr. Claus, to arrive to give a load of his wood-carved toys to the kids for Christmas. But the weather's bloody awful, so probably won't make it.
It's them! It makes sense!
Oh, that's a stroke of luck, isn't it? Yeah, Claus rocks up on his reindeer-pulled sleigh with his missus and a bag of toys. Just Claus at this point, not Santa Claus. So, don't know if he's got a first name or not. It's Tony Claus, but I don't know. Anyway, he strides into the lodge, grasping his gigantic sack. Come on, we're better than that. And he starts handing out his hand-carved wooden toys to the kiddies.
What is it?
Now, I don't know if she's been a little bit ungrateful there or what. I mean, yes, it is just an inanimate lump of wood. Yeah, probably make a good paperweight or a doorstop. But it looks like it's the Middle Ages. It ain't like she's got a PlayStation knocking about that she could play with instead, is it? So maybe she should just wind her neck in and be happy with what she's given. Tony Claus has probably spent hours carving that. Ungrateful ickle sad.
A Vendigum?
Ah, you see, yeah, he's just carved her own ickle Vendigum Christmas elf, yeah. Anyway, Tony and Mrs. Claus can't hang about. They've got more presents to deliver, so they're off to the next village.
Did you see their faces when they saw the toys?
Ah, yes.
They loved their Uncle Claus, huh?
Now, is it just me, or did I detect a tinge of annoyance and resentment in her response there? And who would blame her? Yeah, she ain't signed up for this, I don't think. Freezing the knockers off every Christmas Eve to deliver presents. She's just doing that out of loyalty.
Cutting wood all day for the whole village. It's enough to exhaust any man. How does he find time to make all those things? He makes time.
I bet he just bugger all around the house. I bet she's saying, can you put them shelves up, Tony? And he's going, no, I've got to carve some Vendigum for the kids. And she's thinking, oh, bloody hell. We're going to have to go out on Christmas Eve and deliver all them buggers and all. And it'll be freezing. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying a bloke shouldn't have his hobbies. As you ravers know only too well, I spend quite a lot of my time dicking about. But I don't force Denise into it. Just as she doesn't force me into helping her out making stupid bloody Christmas decorations. Lovely Christmas decorations. Lovely Christmas decorations. Anyway, the weather's just too bad, so they can't get to the other village. And the extremely ropey looking animatronic reindeer look like they've had enough. So they're just down tools. Well, I think they dropped dead.
Here is where you freeze to death. Now come on, my good boys. Come on.
Well, that motivational team talk didn't work, did it? And I'm thinking, bloody hell, this is a bold choice for the start of a family Christmas movie. The reindeers, Mrs. Claus and Tony Claus all freezing to death. And just as you think they're done for, a celestial star starts to cast a little bit of light on them, which warms them up a bit. Then it gets brighter and brighter until this massive ray of light shoots out from it, which really makes it seem like they're dead. Because that sort of imagery is synonymous with being dead, isn't it? Yeah, we're expecting St. Peter to turn up with his membership list for heaven. But no, instead, we get a load of Vendigum ambling out of the light. And Mr. and Mrs. Claus become acquainted with the Vendigum.
We prefer to be called elves, if you don't mind.
And we meet Patch, played by Dudley Moore. Now, lots of Dudley Moore's elf mates look very familiar, so it's time for a brand new feature. Who the elf is that? Right, first up then, this fella, he was the dwarf in Hawk the Slayer, what we watched the other week. He's elf in this, dwarf in that. Interestingly, if you're in Hawk the Slayer's universe, an elf has pointy ears, like they do in Lord of the Rings. Elves have pointy ears. Whereas the dwarves in Lord of the Rings, they're short blokes, loads of them got big beards and that. Now, in Santa Claus the movie, the elves ain't got pointy ears. If anything, they probably look more like hobbits from Lord of the Rings. Yeah, very difficult to keep track of these mythical beings. Easily get confused. Now, this bloke on the right, who's completely gormless and or high on drugs. I didn't recognise him. Dino told me who that was. That is Mike from The Young Ones. I mean, unrecognisable, isn't he? Now, the fella on the left, he were in a Mike Lee thing. Abigail's Party. He were Alison Steadman's husband, I think. I think he died at the end. Spoiler alert. This bloke, he were also in a Mike Lee thing. As Ray, not me. No. He were a camper in Nuts in May. Don't remember much about Nuts in May, other than Roger Sloman went nuts at the end, waving a big branch around. And presumably, it was set during May. This bloke, that's Gunnar Beaumont from It Ain't Half Hot Mum, Melvin Hayes, yeah. And this chap, that's Lofty from It Ain't Half Hot Mum, played by Donna Stowe. Yeah, I used to enjoy It Ain't Half Hot Mum. I get why they can't show it anymore, you know, it was of its time, but I thought it was good, I did enjoy it. I reckon we had Whispering Grass on single, you know. Whispering Grass. Hey, Donna Stowe couldn't half belt a song out, couldn't he? Hey. And Windsor Davies, he were brilliant in it. He'd make a good Father Christmas, wouldn't he, Windsor Davies? Has he ever been Father Christmas, Windsor Davies? Should have been. He'd whip the elves into shape, wouldn't he?
One of these days I'll get you posted up that jungle so fast your feet won't touch the ground!
Incidentally, there's no female elves, so yeah, probably a similar dynamic to It Ain't Half Hot Mum. No female company for them whatsoever. So evidently these elves are magical beings that presumably appeared out of nowhere, because there ain't been any reproductive activities going on, has there? And Mr. and Mrs. Claus are getting the tour of the elf kingdom, seeing these ickle fellas dancing about, making all the toys, living inside what looks like a ski lodge designed by Willy Wonka. At no point do either of them turn to the other and say, what the f*** is going on? They just accept it. Maybe they're just happy that it's better than being dead. But the elves have got a job in mind for Tony Claus.
They're Christmas toys, waiting for you. You're going to give them.
But Claus highlights the elephant in the room regarding that plan. No, not that elephant. No, the logistical elephant.
But how could I deliver all these toys? I won't live long enough for that.
Both of you will live forever. Like us.
Bloody hell! That's a fate worse than death, isn't it? Delivering Christmas presents forever. I tell you what, the premise of this reminded me of another wintry film, Misery, where James Caan's successful romance novelist is rescued from a car crash by his number one fan, Annie Wilkes, who turns out to be a complete nutcase and holds him captive so he can write a new novel specially for her. And obviously it turns into an absolute nightmare. And that's what this feels like. Yeah, Santa, he enjoys giving presents out, but he don't want to do it forever, surely. Forever? And the elves get beavering away, making more toys, and a costume for Mr. Claus. And then before he sets out to deliver his prezzies, he gets a last-minute pep talk from the Supreme Commander Elf, played by Burgess Meredith, looking remarkably like some sort of kung fu master.
From this day on, now and forever.
Forever?
You will bring our gifts to all the children in all the world.
All of them?
And all this to be done on Christmas Eve.
Hey?
How can I do so much in just one night?
Oh, yeah. Well, know this.
Oh, it gets worse.
Time travels with you.
Hey?
The night of the world is a passage of endless night for you.
Bloody hell! If Annie Wilkes said that, you'd be shitting yourself. But it sounds just as bad coming from the Kung Fu Master Elf. I bet Mrs. Claus is thinking, kill me now, kill me now. I definitely didn't sign up for this.
And henceforth,
Oh, now what?
you will be called
Come on, spit it out.
Santa Claus.
Great, so I can't even call me Santoni anymore. Incidentally, Burgess Meredith, third billing in this. He's in it for about 2 minutes. So we get a montage of the sands of time trickling away and poor old Father Christmas delivering presents forever. And we see kids throughout the centuries playing with their lovely prezzies that they've had from Santa. And this montage comes right up to the present day. Well, the 80s, when this were made. Yeah, we're almost halfway through the film here, and it's pretty bloody boring. So I'll try and speed things up a bit. Because Santa's got so much bloody work to do, he employs an assistant, and that's Patch, played by Dudley Moore. And eager to impress Santa, he devises some machinery to mass produce the toys for the kids. But they ain't as good as handmade toys. I wonder if this is a comment about AI, ahead of its time. No substitute for handmade stuff, is there? No. And we see loads of the kids' Christmas prezzies falling to bits. Yeah, Patch's new manufacturing process ain't as good, is it? Shoddy workmanship. But what was noticeable is that it's the 1980s, and they're still trying to fob the kids off with the same wooden toys that they were giving to kids hundreds of years before. Kids aren't going to stand for that in the 80s. Kids wanted this sort of stuff in the 80s. And if you get the wrong stuff, oh boy, do they let you know about it. I remember getting my nephew some GoBots on the instructions of his mother Sheila. Said that was what he wanted. But then when he opened it, he went, oh no, I didn't want this, I wanted Transformers. And he moaned about that all bloody Christmas Day. I didn't bloody know, it all looked the same to me. Blooming ickle plastic robots turning into cars. All the bloody same. But no, never let me forget that one, did they? Pampadickle shit. But, he's one of Sheila's kids, isn't he? So, what do you expect? Anyway, Patch, ashamed by shoddy toy production, buggers off to New York City for some reason and ends up partnering with an evil toy maker played by John Lithgow. And we know he's evil because his hair's slicked back, he smokes a big cigar, and the toys he makes for kids have got loads of harmful shit in them. And Lithgow's performance is really over the top. It's bordering on ludicrous, but to be fair, he's easily the most entertaining thing, isn't it? And they have some scheme with kids eating these lollies that make him fly. It's all very Willy Wonka, this. And there's a couple of annoying kids in it. Pretty annoying, but to be fair, could be worse. We've had worse. Although, I think the only reason they're in it is an excuse for some gratuitous product placement. Yeah, that's the true meaning of Christmas, isn't it? Peddling McDonald's and Coca-Cola. And for some convoluted reason, Santa has to rescue the kids and Patch. They bugger off back to the North Pole and everybody lives happily ever after. Apart from John Lithgow, who consumes too much of his own product and goes flying off into space. But it's a kids' movie, so we don't see his face do this. Okie-doo, on to Ray's ratings. Well, yeah, I weren't expecting a lot from this, I'll be honest with you. Thought it might be a little bit overly sentimental. Not my bag, really. So, 2-star film at best. But, bloody hell, it were boring. It were hard work, this. I know some of you ravers are of a certain age where you might feel nostalgic about this film. Yeah, I might have fond memories about it, but watching it now as an adult, God, it's crap. It is crap. Now it happens for ages, and then when anything does happen, it's just stupid. It ain't like Elf. You know, oh, Elf were bloody good. No, this were not that. Sorry, no. So, I'm sorry to say, I'm rating Santa Claus the movie a 1-star, 2-star film. Right, I've been doing some back-of-fag packet calculations here. Approximately 2.2 billion children under 18 in the world. So if we say a quarter of them celebrate Christmas, that's 550 million. Now, if we're using the 2.4 children average per household, that means it would need to visit approximately 229 million homes. And let's say that each trip is going to take him about 5 minutes. He's got to get down the chimney, drop the presents off, have a cookie, maybe do a wee. So, yeah, 5 minutes. I think that's realistic. 5 minutes. That's 12 homes he can do in an hour, which times by 24 is 288 homes per day. So 229 million divided by 28 means that's approximately 2,752 years it would take to deliver one Christmas's worth of presents. I think if I were Santa, I'd have told the elves where to go.
Get stuffed!
Well, I hope you enjoyed my review of Santa Claus the Movie, Ravers. And if you did, poke the old like button for me. Give it a good old poke. Maybe you could get a reindeer ankler to poke it. If you've got any reindeer anklers kicking about. And remember to share our reviews with your mates and subscribe to the channel if you ain't already a subscriber. Much appreciated, as are all the wonderful comments you lot keep popping on. I love reading them. They really do make my day. They're so nice. Thank you so much for those, and apologies if I don't get around to responding to them all. And if you want to support the channel, why not pop over to Patreon and become a Ratron or a Nickel Ratron? We've got loads of Ratrons in action at the moment over on my sister channel for Ray Ruttle's Race Night, so come and join us on that. And if you become a Ratron, you can get a horse in the Race Night tournament next year. And you get to nominate your suggestions for reviews. And on Boxing Day, well, Boxing Day wouldn't really be Boxing Day without a James Bond film, would it? So the Ratrons and Nickel Ratrons will be putting their requests in for Bond films, and copyright bots permitting, I will be back with a Bond film for you on Boxing Day. So I will see you next time, whether that be a race night or a review. And if I don't see you before Crimbo, have a good one. Okie doke.